What's up, guys? Welcome to my channel. In today's video we got ourselves a Traxxas TRX3.3 carburetor, carburetor, whatever you want to call it. It's all up to you. But today's video we're gonna just take this whole thing apart, and I do want to clean everything out, and we're gonna talk about a lot of components and parts and how you should service this and what you should avoid. And then we will do a little bit of another video. We will do factory needle setting. So if you ever lose your needle setting or tuning and you want to start fresh, that'd be the best way. Start fresh. So carburetor has few parts that you need to pay attention to. First of all, if you're taking this baby apart, pull out your phone. What you want to do is you want to take a picture of this. Okay, see how the angle of this is and how the angle of this is, and what you want to do is just take a picture so you know which angle it goes in. So I'm taking a picture of this, and then I'm gonna take a picture of this fuel line, the way it is angled. So I want to get it the same place. So I'll take a few pictures, one this way and one from this side facing towards me. Anyways, let's start this job up, and we're gonna take everything apart. Okay, we took pictures and we went and got some tools, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna start out. Once you take off this carburetor, you're gonna notice there's an orange seal. Okay, very important seal. If you want to rebuild it, make sure you get yourself a kit. But this carburetor is not heavily used. This is my Revo 3.3. This is what it's off. So you're gonna see dirt around it, so you don't want to stretch the seal, so just try to clean up the dirt as much as you can. I would just blow it in the air. So there's that. Okay, so what we're gonna do next is got a few tools. So we're gonna start taking things apart. So we'll start off by taking out the needles. And to take out the needles, over here we got the high-speed needle. So you pretty much this carb it has a handle here for you to remove. So pretty much this high-speed needle comes out. So if you notice, sometimes these needles will get bent because a lot of people will just tighten them so far and they will jam up. So pay attention to your needle here. So there's an O-ring right there, so make sure you pay attention to that O-ring. And let's clean this up right now. What I want to do is I'm going to use this to clean this up. So I'm going to just clean this baby up really well. And simple and easy. Let's put this to the side. Okay, next we're going to take out the low speed needle. Okay, this is the needle once your carb is closed, and this is what's going to let release the fuel and air fuel into the carb. And this is your low speed needle here. So it's right behind your throttle. So when you revving the engine, this is what's going on. Vroom, vroom, vroom. So your low speed needle's in here. So very important to pay attention to this seal. Okay, low speed needle. Low speed needle also as well has a seal right in back of it right there. So pay attention to that seal. Okay, so that's that, and we're gonna move on to removing the idle speed needle. This is the idle speed needle. So what this does is this idle speed needle, it goes in and hits the barrel. There's a barrel inside. We don't talk about that barrel. So the barrel can stop here. So if we push this needle in, it will just open more and more. So that's your engine's gonna rev more higher speed. So that'd be like an idle control needle, or yeah, it is pretty much idle speed needle. And we're gonna remove that. So those are, we're just gonna talk component and things to look out. So just rebuilding your stuff and just maintaining your the seals here, make sure they're not breaking. So usually your engine would act up, or your tuning won't be good, just because these needles has not a perfect adjustment, or the seals are bad and the air is leaking in. So there's that. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take off the arm here. This is what controls your throttle. So just loosening up this guy, and this guy comes out. This is what connects to your servo and pulls this guy in and out. So this tubing, this tube right here, this seal here, this little guy is very important. Okay, you want to pay attention to this guy, because if this little guy has holes, cuts and holes, and it's all dirt and debris around it, what's gonna happen is your air is gonna leak in there. Okay, very important part to look at. Just go around and inspect it. So if this goes bad, your engine's not gonna perform properly. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this a spring here. You see that spring? We're gonna take out that spring next. Okay, this spring is very easy to take off. All you need to do is just go around with your nail, just pop it off on the back end, and this guy just comes off. And from this side, it's the same process. You just go around with your nail and take this guy out. Okay, what we're gonna do, the whole barrel, this is called the barrel. You see the barrel? This is called the barrel. Okay, so this is where your idle speed needle comes into contact. Okay, so this is what pushes it in and out depending on how far you want the barrel to be open, and that's what controls your engine performance. So we're not going to take out the spring, but if you do need to take out the spring, so you're just going to have to work a little bit of magic. Just go around it, and with your fingertip, with your nail, it should come off. So that's that, and we're going to move on. So what we're going to take out next is we're going to take off this little guy. So I'm going to have to get a perfect size wrench. I don't know if one of these is going to fit on it. Nope, this is not going to fit on it, so let me go grab something. Alright, so when I got me my T-wrench here, so remember to keep record of pictures on this little guy. You can change the angle on this, but it's all up to you. But this thing comes right off. It does have washer O-ring right there and a washer O-ring right there. So those are the few pieces there. So this is the inlet of this little guy. So I want to grab a tissue here and I want to start wiping things off. And the part you're not going to see is when I take this baby into bath. So I usually give this everything here a bath into like some type of cleaner. It could be usually use a nitro, old nitro, and that works out pretty good. So a few more things that you want to check. So this thing is pretty much butt naked right now. So these little guy right here, if you ask me what these are simply for you to, this doesn't have a seal in it, so they don't usually fill that easy. So dirt is a big issue. Leaving your old nitrogen in there is an issue. And there's another O-ring here. So what this is, these two little things I just took off, these are just caps. And what these are for you to route your fuel to a different direction. Okay, since we had it here, you could route it here, you could route it here. It's all up to you. Well, you can't route it here, I don't think so. But anyways, that's what those are. So what I want to do is I want to clean this whole thing up, and then we're going to come back and we're going to put everything back together. And main thing you want to check is this little guy right here. Okay, if this seal, the rubber boot here is broken, it's going to cause leakages. And if you get yourself a repair kit, it's going to come with needles, which we're not doing. Get yourself new needles. Needles will bend from the front and they will wear out, but this is like barely used a nitro engine here, and I probably had like 20 ones with them. I didn't even go 1 gallon through it yet, but I like to do videos on it and talk about things on it. And that's it. That's everything in there, and there's nothing else left behind. And pretty much you could do yourself at home. Okay guys, I got everything lined up here. Everything is nice and clean. Get yourself some afterrun oil. This is what this baby look like. So pretty much you don't need a whole lot of afterrun oil. So what I like to do is I like to put a little bit on the seals. The reason why you want to put on the seals is because the seals needs to go in there and they need to slip and slide. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off by putting our fuel line in. So you know what, let's put these ports in so we can block these ports. So this is the one of the port here, and make sure that orange O-ring is there, and just a hand tight. And we're gonna take the second one and we're gonna block off this one right here. This is just rerouting a different angle of your fuel line or your fuel inlet. And let's put in our fuel inlet. So this is the little guy. So very important, there's a metal o-ring right there, metal o-ring, and we do have this second metal o-ring right here. This guy goes on right here. Don't worry about the angles yet. So this, if you want to look at the photos we took off, this was pretty much in that angle right there. So we're gonna close it back in the same angle. You can always maneuver it around, so this baby just becomes tight just like that. That's done deal. Should have moved, and you don't want to go crazy because this carb is not metal, and it's comes some type of plastic, and you will strip it. Anyways, next step up, let's put in we're gonna put in the barrel. Okay, so the barrel is only gonna go in one way. If you get it the wrong way, you're gonna have to just twist it around. But what I like to do is, before you put the barrel in, let's put in this idle speed needle here. So this idle speed needle goes in here. So one thing, if this bothers us, we can move it around, but if it doesn't bother us, we can simply just go in. So it is gonna bother us, so let's move that around, and we're gonna push this baby in. And remember, your tuning is gonna be all off, so we are gonna retune the whole thing. We will start off with the factory settings, and from there we will make it rich and lean if you need to. And the gap on your barrel in there, the idle gap should be about 1 millimeter of an inch. So the barrel, the low speed, the idle speed needle has to go right through there. So once you put this baby in, you see, it's not gonna go in. Okay, so the reason why it's not gonna go in is because your idle speed needle here needs to come back out. Okay, just wanted to demonstrate that. So if you're having that issue, take this baby back out till that barrel drops, because it does eliminate from it coming out and going all the way. So this baby will reach once you take out this idle speed needle, and once it's out, it's gonna come out more. Should have started fresh, but just wanted to teach a lesson there. So remember, we put a little bit of oil on this idle speed needle gasket to begin with. You see how it drops in now, but it can twist all around. So once you get this in, make sure you find that gap where your barrel cannot twist around, and it can come out to a certain point and stop. Okay, and what we're gonna do is, now we're gonna lock this baby up, and what we're gonna do is, I want to see the gap in there. Okay, the gap inside there. So that looks pretty good to me right there, and that's fine. Okay, and this spring right here, the spring needs to go, there's a little notch there, so that's where it originally starts from. So if you get this guy to come over and then just work your way around, you should be just able to get that spring right on it. It's not gonna be easy task, but it shouldn't be that hard either. And just rolling your nail all along, it should drop that spring in. And if you get the wrong angle, you just twist it, because that spring does need to start off right from that little groove in the middle. There you go. Once it's there, look at that barrel should. So if for any chance the arm with this little guy just pops up, your engine will just go to idle speed automatically. Okay, next step here, this rubber boot, very important to inspect. Like I said, replace it if you need to. If you're buying the kit, it's probably all gonna come with the kit. So this little guy, no need to put if you want to put a little bit of oil on it, you can do so, even on the barrel, but I usually don't need to. But this guy will go in there just like that. There you go. Bang, zoom. So what we're gonna do is, this little guy, you need to look at the picture now. This is where you need to look at that picture. So this guy was about right there for me. I am gonna check the picture and adjust everything according to the picture. But right now, I just want to lock it up right here, nice and tight. Make sure it doesn't move. And we also can lock up this fuel line here right now, because we no longer need to. Okay, that's that. So pretty much We got a seal here, so make sure you put a little bit of afterburn oil on this. Any oil can do, but I just stick with the oil that I usually come with for these engines. And this is our high-speed needle. So our high-speed needle goes into inlet, where make sure that O-ring is there and make sure it's lubricated. And what you want to do here is you want to get this baby right to just when it stops. Okay, you don't want to force it, because that's when you will bend the needle. And now we got this little guy, a little bit of oil on this little guy. And this is your low speed needle. It goes right in here into the center of the barrel. Twist, twist, twist till you find the spot. And then we're going to use this long screwdriver here to get this baby in there. And that's how you're going to rebuild your carburetor for your nitro engine. So remember, this thing, just to give you guys an idea, is usually flush to the inner housing of this. We'll talk all about that, so I'm not even going to mention that. So we got everything. Make sure you put this seal in. Very important seal. Make sure it's nice and clean. The surface is clean. You don't want to stretch this seal, so this thing just goes right on. And you just slip it right in there. That's how that goes. Bada bing, bada boom. We have successfully completed this carburetor. If you guys got any questions, don't hesitate to send me a message. Thank you and bye-bye. And next video, you will see me tuning this to the factory settings. And then I will do more videos on tuning the nitro engine as it runs. But I do need to do a rebuild videos on this baby. Anyways, we still got videos to do. My tuning is off, but that's something that I need to play around with, and I did do a factory tuning, so it's ready to run on the factory settings. And guys, check out my videos right before this video. I did do a carburetor tuning, and I did do a carburetor rebuild video. So this thing is stuck on factory tuning here, okay? Factory tuning.